Good afternoon. For those of you still listening to this shiurim, props to you. Very impressive that your dedication to Talmud Torah goes all the way up to Erev Pesach. I want to talk about briefly the question of saying Shema the night of the Seder. We know that the Leil HaSeder is referred to in the Torah as Leil Shimurim, the night that is guarded. So what does that mean? So there are three approaches. There are more than three approaches, but I'd like to share three approaches with you and the halachic ramifications of that. So the first approach is that it's a Leil Shimurim, it's a night which was protected, that Hashem guarded his promise, so to speak, that the promise that Hashem had given to our avos of taking their children out of Mitzrayim, that promise was fulfilled. That means Hashem guarded his promise. It was that night was anticipated and was guarded to fill out that promise. Secondly, what it could mean is that it was a night that was guarded for the redemption, not only of Bnei Yisrael, but also of Hashem himself. That we know that Imo Anochi B'tzara, Hashem tells us he comes with us into the Galus, and that the night of redemption is a night not only for Bnei Yisrael, but for the name of Hashem as well. And so that night was a night which is set aside for both past and future redemption for both Bnei Yisrael and the Shem Hashem and Hashem as well. And finally, the third approach is that it's a night which has extra protection on that night, that from bad occurrences happening, it's a night where we have this extra level of protection from Hashem beyond what we typically do have. And therefore it's a Leil Shimurim. So those are the three approaches that what it could mean. Based off of particularly this last approach, that we have this extra protection of the Leil Shimurim, the Ramah quotes the minhag that we don't recite Shema. What does it mean we don't recite Shema? He doesn't actually say we don't recite Shema. He says that we have the minhag only to recite the first paragraph of a Shema. Because typically on a typical night, so many have the practice to not only say Shema, but to say a number of paragraphs, a number of tefillos, as it pertains particularly to the protection that Hashem provides us as we're sleeping. So that's the minhag that many have of saying Kriya Shema Al Amita. For that, the Ramah says we don't say all those extra paragraphs. We just say the first paragraph of Shema. Now, the Mishnah Berurah points out that we also add in the bracha of Hamapil. So we would say, it would come out according to the Ramah, according to the Mishnah Berurah, that we would say just Hamapil and at minimum the first paragraph of Kriya Shema, if not all three, but not the additional tefillos for protection. That's what it means. That's the halachic ramification of being Leil Shimurim. There is a suggestion of the Sefer Yesod L'Shorosh HaAvoda that we should also recite just one pasuk of B'yadcha Afkid Ruchi B'Yesu Sham V'Ayira. That last pasuk that's saying, I'm going to sleep and I'm placing my neshama, I'm placing my soul into the hands of God. So the Yesod L'Shorosh HaAvoda does suggest to say that. Some may have that minhag, but at minimal, based off the Ramah and the Mishnah Berurah, it does seem to say minimally the first paragraph, if not all three paragraphs of Shema, say brach of Hamapil, but not necessarily, or not to say the additional paragraphs asking for the protection of Hashem, because that's what we have on this special night of Leil Shimurim. And I pray that is a Leil Shimurim for all of us from all bad occurrences, and perhaps hopefully it could be at least a break from the virus as well. But as Hashem, that it should be truly a Leil Shimurim, that we should be able to have this extra protection and fulfill the night of Seder in the best way possible. And I wish everyone a Chag Kosher V'Sameach, that we should be happy, we should be healthy, and I look forward to seeing you all in Shul soon. Have a fantastic day and a fantastic Yom Tov.